Tippmann M4. Build quality, I don't know. My rail's not loose like other people's rails are. Biggest complaint is the stock on this thing. It's a little loose. Sometimes it'll adjust right. Some people have had issues with their screw being loose. Right now it's working fine, but I've had problems in the past with it not functioning properly. I did have issues with the trigger assembly. Pull out the old manual here and look at it again. That would be the response cylinder, because the trigger assembly was still under pressure, which caused the selector switch to be locked in a position and you were unable to move it. And I'm inexperienced with HPA systems and paintball systems for sure, so I had some issues getting it out. As you can see, there's some scratching of the anodizing, if you want to call it that. Trying to get that out. Talked to tech support. Found out that if you screw in the rate of fire screw all the way in, that will relieve the pressure on that cylinder, which will allow you to get the selector switch into its proper position. Yeah. Anyways, I like the weight of the gun. It's not heavy, which is good. If you're planning on running it with CO2 mags, running the magazines, there's probably a reason why they haven't put these out on the market yet, is you'd be a fool to run them on these. Only 80 shots and wasting a whole 2 CO2 mag. Definitely want to run it off of HPA or a CO2. I'm trying a couple different things. I have a Tippmann tank here, 48 CI. 3000 PSI tank. I had it filled up and just trying to get full auto back, because once you mess with the rate of fire screw, which pretty much it's only got one setting. It's either it's max rate of fire or semi only. And it's just a hair trigger too. It's if you adjust the screw either way, the wrong way, you'll be in semi fire mode only, and not full auto. And I wasn't gauging how many shots I had taken. Obviously, I was just trying to get the rate of fire back after releasing the trigger cylinder. But this was a full tank, and I would probably guess maybe 600-700 rounds. I went from 3,000 to just under 1,000 PSI. I have no regulator on the CO2 tank that I'm also trying. It's a 20-ounce CO2, and actually seem to have better performance out of the CO2 than the HPA. But this is just some dry firing and firing in the backyard. No field testing yet. Don't have a chance to, or haven't had a chance to, I should say. But I don't know. People complain about the build quality of the gun. Every product you buy is going to have an item or two that sneaks through, which is going to have some of the molding tabs left on it, or wasn't cleaned up properly. It looks like I don't know if that's accurate on the serial number there, if I have gun number 145. or the number on my stock, which is 188. So, but everything else seems to be tight. The grip is a little small. I prefer a bigger grip for my hand, but it's comfortable still to hold. Trigger response is good. I know people are complaining about the blowback. I'm still relatively new to this. I have an ICS Transform 4, which is a blowback, and I'm really hadn't used it in a while, in a month or so. I only get to play about once a month, and I forgot how much recoil I had in that thing. But if you're looking for a more realistic gun, not a Polar Star or an SMP system or the other HPA systems out there, I think this is probably closer to what you're looking for. It's definitely loud. It's not going to be your silent little fart noise that you're going to get out of some of the other guns. But you know, if you're wanting that, then you build that. If you're looking for something that you'd want to go make a lot of noise and go shoot, then shoot this. I'm using the Ninja micro bore straight line with the slide check, which is nice. The one thing I don't like about the slide check is it's easy to bump, and I accidentally bumped it a couple times while firing, which of course releases some of the air. I may just use some kind of a Velcro zip tie or of some sorts to hold it on either end to keep it in its position, so it either stays closed or stays open, one of the two. You don't want to be bumping that out on the field and lose your bottle. So anyways, I'm gonna, hopefully everything stayed tuned. I'm gonna go fire a few rounds out the back door. I have a very small yard, neighbors are right next door, so most I can do is just aim at some stuff in the backyard through my back door and just go from there. So, and the other thing with this, the mags are in there, at least on my gun. They're very tight, so you really have to slam them in there to get them in there. So, which is a good and bad thing, I guess. If you're trying to reload quick, it may cause a problem, but you don't have to worry about it falling out, that's for sure. So we'll go pump a few rounds out the back door and see what happens, see if it fires in full auto. I'm pretty sure I got it dialed back in again. Like I said, I burnt most of this tank just trying to find full auto on it. And this gun anyways, you're probably going to want to fire just in semi-auto mode anyways, because you're not going to be getting the rounds per second like you would be out of a standard AEG or even a Polar Star. If you're looking to do 30 rounds a second, you might as well just build a Polar Star and be done with it. So, open up the bottle. I might have to hold the bottle underneath my arm. Pop open the back door. Air's on. Prime it. Let's do full auto. Full auto is obviously not tuned all the way, or the air pressure is a little too low. That could be the problem too. Looks like I'm out. I don't know. That's just a simple little test out the back door. Like I said, it could be better, but you're spending $400, $450 for a gun. You're not spending $800 for a gun. So you get what you get. if you want to buy a Dodge Neon for a car, or if you want to buy a Ferrari. But they all have their problems. Polar Stars have problems. S&P systems have their problems. Say, brand new system, it's going to have problems too. So take it